If you're a beginner in Red Dead Online, you're bound to make mistakes. But by watching this video, we'll make sure that you don't make any of the common mistakes in Red Dead Online like I did. In this video, we'll be going over common mistakes I made as a beginner in Red Dead Online, which cost me some big cash and gold. But before we do get into all of that, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss any content just like this. So, getting back into the video. First up, we have buying every single weapon in the game. This seems like something that you should definitely do, but it really isn't. Buying every weapon in the game is pointless. You really won't use all of them. And you might be wondering, well, which ones should I buy? I have actually already made a video going over the specific weapons you should buy and the best loadouts to use in Red Dead Online. A link to that can be found in the description. So yeah, don't buy every weapon, just buy the ones that you're actually going to use. Obviously, when you do become a veteran of the game and you have thousands of cash to spare, then you might as well. But especially as a beginner, do not try to buy every single weapon. Next up, we have role unlocks. Most players, when they're going through a role, they will purchase every single unlock once they have unlocked them. But you really shouldn't do this. You really should only be purchasing essential items such as the wagons in the bounty hunter and trader role. This especially does apply to beginners. You simply won't be having the gold to spare to be spending it on rings that are around 6 gold bars. It's really worth buying all the roles before going into buying cosmetics. This way you'll be earning much more gold in the long run. You'll also get free pamphlets as you go through the role, and they are the absolute essentials to the role. So there really aren't that many things that you will need to be buying throughout going through each role. Then later on in the game, once you do have the gold to spare, you can go back and then buy those rings and clothes. Next up is purchasing the wrong role first. Some players might see a role that they think is the best to purchase first, and some might just purchase one at random or go for the cheapest. But this really isn't what you should do. You should save up those 15 gold bars and then purchase the bounty hunter role. To get those 15 gold bars for the bounty hunter role, you'll just want to go through the Land of Opportunity story missions and then a couple of blood money missions, and you should be at about 15 gold bars. So the main reason to go for the bounty hunter role first is that it's the only role that will award you gold. If you do want a full video going into detail on why you should buy this role first, a link to that can be found in the description. The next mistake is very similar to purchasing the wrong role first. This is purchasing the moonshine role before the trader role. With the trader role, you'll be earning around $600 per 3.5 hours, and that is with the max upgrades and around the max level of the trader role. With the moonshine role, every hour you can be earning around $220, and this isn't even with the maximum flavor. The moonshine role is significantly easier to go through. You won't be having to keep on going back and forth and restocking your supplies. You simply just have to cook some supplies once an hour and then sell them. Especially at the beginning of the game, this will save you so much time and will earn you more gold, since you'll be able to go off in that hour and do some missions that will earn you some gold instead of having to continuously stock up the trader supplies. So don't make this mistake. Save up to those 25 gold bars after the bounty hunter role and purchase the moonshine role. That way you'll be earning some good cash and gold by cooking some moonshine, doing some bounty missions, and then selling the moonshine, and just repeating that method until you then go on and purchase the trader role. The next mistake is purchasing the Litchfield repeater. Wow, this was a very bad one on my part. I used to think that the most expensive weapon was just automatically the best. I just thought if that cost the most amount of money, it had the highest stats. But this really isn't the case in Red Dead Online. This might not be a common mistake, but this is a stupid mistake that I made. So I just want to make sure that you guys really don't make this one. When I was a beginner in Red Dead Online, I told my friends that this was the best repeater. We all bought it and used it. But wow, the Lancaster repeater is so much better. Some stats of the Litchfield repeater aren't that bad, but the accuracy on the Lancaster repeater is just so much better. It really is the best repeater that there is, and it's the one that you should be using when it comes to repeaters in Red Dead Online. So save those $300 and do not buy the Litchfield repeater. It's a really poor weapon. And wow, PvP just became so much easier once I started using the Lancaster repeater. So get the Lancaster repeater, not the Litchfield repeater. So next up, we're going to be talking about clothes. At the start of the game, when you're first placed into Red Dead Online, you're pretty much in some rags. It will be really tempting to spend all of that cash and all of that gold on some clothes. But clothes in Red Dead Online are really expensive, especially when you are a beginner. So you really want to wait until you've at least purchased a few roles and you have some decent cash building up. And then you can look at getting a fresh new style. But it is really worth saving that cash and gold until you have purchased the necessary items in Red Dead Online. So as a beginner, really try to hold out on buying loads of clothes in Red Dead Online. Of course, a few is fine, but just don't waste all of your money on them. Next up, we have the story missions in Red Dead Online, the Land of Opportunity missions. A big mistake players make, and this is also a mistake I made, is not playing through these story missions first in Red Dead Online. The first content you go through when you first get Red Dead Online is the Land of Opportunity missions, simply because these missions, once completed, will get you very close to that 15 gold bar mark to then go and purchase what I recommend, the Bounty Hunter role. If you didn't play through the story missions at first and went and played, say, Stranger missions, this would not get you near the amount of gold that these would get you. You'd be looking at around 5 to 7 gold bars by going through each Stranger mission, and to be quite honest, it will probably be even less than that. So the first thing you want to do is go through those story missions. Obviously, you won't just be able to go story mission. There will be a gap in between doing each one due to a cooldown. So you'll want to do some blood money missions on the side. And that should really be the main content you go through as a beginner. And one of the big reasons for this is because they don't require any upfront payments to play through. You'll be able to just get straight into that content without having to pay any gold to get into them. So when you first get a Red Dead Online, go through the Land of Opportunity missions and the blood money missions. The next mistake is one I didn't actually make as a beginner. It was only a few weeks ago that I realized I was making this mistake until someone actually pointed it out to me. This is to do with a Moonshine daily challenge, and it is changing the Moonshine decor. I always assumed that this meant it was a Moonshine bar theme, so I had spent the around 15 gold bars to purchase a Moonshine bar theme when I didn't actually have to do that. All I had to do was purchase a painting for about $30, and 2 of the paintings would be ideal, and then I could just switch between each of those paintings every time there was a daily challenge to change the Moonshine decor. This is then saving me at least 10 gold bars, and all I have to do is spend $60. So don't make that mistake I did and purchase a painting instead of a Moonshine bar theme. So that does just about cover the mistakes I made, so you don't have to. To conclude this, we'll quickly go over each mistake. That was buying every weapon, buying all the stable slots, buying all the role unlocks, purchasing the wrong role first, purchasing the trader role before the Moonshine role, purchasing the Litchfield repeater, purchasing a lot of clothes as a beginner, not going through the Land of Opportunity story missions first in Red Dead Online, and purchasing a Moonshine bar theme for the daily challenge. So be sure to not make those mistakes, and I guarantee this will save you some good gold and cash in Red Dead Online. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and comment down below if you've made any of these mistakes, and if you have any content ideas for the future. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.